welcome to 1984, Revolution. Obviously, this starts us off in the year 1984, and for those of you not familiar with it, please go read the book. Now, this is a fairly new mod early in development, and there's really only content for the Ingsoc, the great nation of Oceania. So let's check out what we have to work with.
With one mind, one purpose, one path, our enemies shall be eaten by squirrels, and we shall bow down and worship to ourselves. We shall prevail.
Hey, we were watching that!
We have the great superpowers emerging from nuclear war, the English Socialist States of Oceania, the Eurasian Union, and the East Asian People's Federation. Also, the Arab United Frontier and Saddam. Don't ask me why. And Haile Selassie's cousin is in charge of the Ethiopian Empire. This world's weird. But like I said, only content for the Ingsoc. Let's take a look. I will have fun. Oh, if you're a content creator, we do not recommend making any videos on the mod. You can't tell me what to do? So, there is content for the English Socialist States of America, the Second Continental Army, and the British Royal Resistance. I think today, we'll take a look at that Second Continental Army. So, there is a focus tree, it is fairly limited, and the goal, obviously, is to tell a story. We work our way down to Big Brother is watching you, and all the while, we can't really do anything because we are crippled and stuck in a narrative. The Forever War means we cannot change anything about our army. There's a bunch of surveillance, Big Brother, yep, consciousness of man, technological stagnation, can't even research. Funnily enough, I think it's because the mod is very much new. We're heading down to Big Brother is watching. My country, this for thee. Let's go. Oh, this is a nice touch. So everything else here is outlawed. Oh, the Brotherhood. Huh. Emmanuel Goldstein. War is peace. Freedom is slavery. Ignorance is strength. Hardy's most final command was to tell you to ignore the evidence of your own eyes. You know, I tried to be clever and build some mills where I think the rebellion starts around the Rocky Mountains. No, I don't get to build anything. All of our civs are used for consumer goods. Wow, we really do care about the people. Big Brother cares. And the first of a bunch of civil wars have just popped off. Several former nation states have ripped away from the frontier administration of South Africa. And it's trying to keep the people down. But the people will not be kept down, and they will try to reclaim what they can, really. Now, I've just realized that Eurasia, the Eurasian Union, is being led by Budget Lenin. This is great value Lenin. And the East Asian People's Federation, that's Kim Jong-il. Well, okay then. We can vaporize the too intelligent. Sensible policy. Sensible policy. Yeah, these are all very, very highly sensible policies for smart men. Yeah. I've only just noticed that we have a Ministry of Love, Ministry of Truth, a Ministry of Plenty, and a Ministry of Peace. God, I love me some doublespeak. Jesus Christ, they're really laying it on thick with this one. I like it. Well, we've completed our focus tree, and we get to do. Like I said, the mod is still very, very much in development. This brings us up to nothing yet. Let's just give it a little bit more time. A little bit more time. Ah, there we go. Whispers of Anti-Revolution. Basically, we now get to pick our poison. If we play Airstrip 1, that is the UK. We can get involved there. 13 sectors is what you would think. It is the US of A, baby. Sierra is Mexico. And there's more places we can play. Amazonia, Cape, India, Australasia. But today we will go with the 13 sectors. Ingsoc basically gets broken down into its constituent parts for gameplay purposes, and we will now focus on the 13 sectors, the USA and Canada. We have Sierra here, provinces of Amazonia over there, Australasia, the Cape province, it's all there. We'll see just what happens, because this is where the fun begins. And Brazil has risen up, Colombia has risen up, and the Patagonian United Front. They are all ready to take the fight to the hated enemy. The Brazilian army marches forth under the man with the cool pair of sunglasses to take back what was rightfully theirs. From the Amazon they come. Fear them, Big Brother. Fear them. Also, I just discovered this has Minesweeper integrated into the game. No, I lost. Oh well. Oh, there goes Mexico. So the Zapatistas, as well as the San Sandinistas have risen up. Cubans have risen up. Panama, Haiti. A lot of people rising up. Unkillable Fidel is here. Nice. Yeah, Mexico's really clamping down, so Zapatistas are pretty much already dead. Sandinistas not doing all that much better. Panama might survive a little bit longer, but it's most likely getting crushed. Ooh, yeah, they're all getting crushed pretty hard, except for Cuba. I think Cuba's gonna actually do it. Yeah, they'll take everything here and then be secure. And now Africa as well. It also shatters the Boer Republic and the African National Congress. There's no way in which that can go wrong at all. Jean-Claude Duvalier has liberated Haiti. Oh, at least they'll get to be a beacon of freedom. There we go. Echoes in the mountains. We are the revolution, not them. No. I think not. There we go. The Second American Revolution. The old regime, sensing weakness, has decided to rise up from the Rocky Mountains, open up the stockpiles, and ride out with the red, white, and blue. I can either play as the 13 sectors and try to hold the line, or give me liberty or give me death. The Second Continental Army. Yeah, baby! There we go. The Second American Revolution is here, boys. Let's kick some ass. Okay. Who do we have here? We have the California Liberation Movement. Okay. We have the Cascadian Republican Front. The Texas United Front, the Provisional Government of Texas. The Revived Army of Gray. Boys, are we the bad guys? No, you're on my side? Okay, and then the New England Liberty Front. And the biggest, the baddest, the best. The Second Continental Army is here to kick ass and chew bubblegum. Maybe we're all out of bubblegum. We'll take the fast units, separate them off. Ferdinand Chesirac is our field marshal. We have generals. We have a lot of generals. We have Elvis Presley. Why? Yes, Mr. Presley. Command my troops, please. I don't recognize most of these people, but they're here. They're ready to fight. Okay, focuses. The Second American Revolution. Let's go, boys. And we militarize heavily. Slow the game down. Cannot do research yet. I need to get rid of this technological stagnation. We have chaos and disorder. That's not good. Down with Big Brother is very helpful. And then where tyrants come to die. This is America. We are not a land of submission. We do not bow our heads and go along with the whims of tyranny, regardless of whatever face it takes. This land is free land, and it was built upon the backs of dreamers, explorers, and pioneers. America is where tyrants come to die. We have 5 mills. It's not a lot, but we'll make it work. We're going to need trains, the cheapest trains I can put out there. We are also going to need artillery. We're gonna need so many different things that it's gonna be difficult to supply all of it. Once we get stuff built, I'm gonna need modern tanks. I'm gonna need mechanized. I'm gonna need trucks. I'm gonna need a whole bunch of stuff. Trade. Can't trade with anyone. So okay. Let's start by seizing more land. I'm going to hold in most areas and make a quick motorized / mechanized / armored push towards the coast. And seize that land aggressively. Over here, we'll move out to take like supply hubs, see if we can get some critical infrastructure on our side. We go forward. Remember, this is where tyrants come to die. This is going to the California Liberation Movement. I don't really like that because that's not my stuff. That strengthens Texas. This strengthens... Oh boy. This actually might be more difficult than I had assumed. I'm not getting as many cores out of this as I had expected. Unearthing the mountain facilities. We will have some mills and some civs, and then we can get some free equipment. Speaking of equipment, high priority on garrisons and reinforcements, and see if we can train up some additional units. What are we feeling? Well, this is crap. This is also crap, but it's cheaper crap. I just need bodies on the line, essentially, so we'll recruit like 24 of these, and then we'll see. And keep grabbing land here. Expand. Make myself look a little bit tougher than I maybe am. Seize land. Go, 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 go. So we've already pretty much isolated California. The more land we can grab, the better. And it would appear we are in a faction, the North American Resistance Movement. Yes, sweet. What are we up against? Like, all in all, yes, we're outnumbered and a little bit separated. They have the industrial edge. We'll see how this goes. Honestly, not entirely sure. If they crush this, they can then throw a lot of weight at the rest of our puppets, friends, I guess. By God, we will have our home again. Yes! They will be free. they will die trying to be free. This is what it means when they say, give me liberty or give me death. So shockingly, it does appear we were able to grab a massive amount of land. Canada's a little bit worse off, as is like the East Coast, but the West Coast is doing pretty nice. It is the best coast after all. I wish there was a way to integrate these puppets. Maybe there is if you go down the entire tree and win the war. Oh, they're not even puppets, they're just faction members. I hope there's a way to integrate them. Honestly, it would be a shame to end up with a completely disjointed America. So they are starting to show up with troops here, so I think we've done the land grabbing that we will do. From this point, we actually have to start fighting now. Never fear, Second Continental Army's here. My problems are currently right here. They're being allowed to push out, which is not really what I want. I need to counterattack, but at the same time, I need to conserve my strength. You know what? Let's force deploy a bunch of units. We are putting our boys out there. Man the line, brothers. Man the line. I need so much stuff. I need guns, tanks, equipment of all sorts. I need stuff, and I don't know if we're gonna... Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna cut it, but boy, do we need work. Ah, there we go. The IRA has declared war on Airstrip 1. As has the British Royal Resistance. So it's all coming down for Oceania. Now this will be the perfect time for Eurasian Union or the Asian People's Federation to invade. Just saying, you know, just saying. All this chaos, yeah, this is when I would invade if I were a maniacal dictator. Just saying. Let's make use of the fact that our units are really fast to grab some more land. We're going to be trying push towards both the victory points as well as the supply hubs. Go around the enemy wherever we can. A unit that's been encircled is a unit that is no longer a threat to us. All right, let's keep it rolling, rolling, rolling. Ooh, let's head to Omaha. Gotta prevent them from linking up with one another, and then we can do all the damage we need to. And then we find the isolated pockets and destroy those. Unit that's been destroyed is a unit that cannot fight me a second time. I got my mountain facilities. I can either get more stockpiles, which would be great, or I could assert control of the cities. That's good for our org. The Spirit of 76, that's great because that allows us to do actual research. And reform the Minutemen. Let's unlock the actual research so we can come at this with better guns. Just better everything, realistically. It looks like our East Coast brothers have fallen, and the Canadian resistance up north is not doing too hot. It's all gonna come down to us. The Texans, the Californians, and the Second Continental Army, it looks like. Yeah, the revived Army of Grey, not looking too hot either. See if I can relieve some pressure off these boys in gray. If I push along the north, I might be able to create a corridor, cut some of their troops off that are more in the heartland of the grays, and destroy those. As long as the rest of the front holds, I'll be fine. Mostly. Fine-ish. Annoyingly, none of our generals really have traits. Nobody has any traits. Again, very unfinished. I know they said, please don't play this on video. But come on! 1984, I can crush this horrific regime. I can rebuild this great nation. And this will, once again, and truly be the graveyard of tyrants. That's irresistible. We all need a little bit of anti-tyranny in these trying times. Yeah, going over the overall strength of the faction, this is, I mean, on paper it looks pretty decent, but I'm the only one with an actual functional army. And half my army is this, basically just warm bodies to fill a space. So I need more troops, I need more equipment, but the Spirit of 79 will see us to victory. This will allow me to finally research some new stuff, and we might be able to leverage the technological edge. Always remember, America is where tyrants go to die, and I will see that happen today. There's still a little bit of justice left in the world. Just maybe. Alright, Spirit 76 means research. Could get the Minutemen, not that important. Polish control is going to be great for the division. Just basically overall, but I need guns right now. Let's unveil those hidden stockpiles. Roll out the guns. A rifle behind every blade of grass. Let's start fixing our technological backwardsness and start producing equipment. Start researching new ways to do things. Let's make this country great again. Death to tyrants. And we're striking out here to save the Army of Grey. Coming to the rescue of what I can only assume is a some sort of reformed, restored confederacy. Oh well, gotta do what you gotta do. Where's my armor? I could swear I had armor. Oh, you're bogged down in Kansas City. I don't know if that's worth it. You know, why fight there when I can simply move around and encircle it? Let's start introducing artillery and other good stuff into the garrison divisions. I want to build up this and then convert into it. Basically make it my preferred design, because the other stuff we have available is this. And I don't know why, but I don't want my motorized artillery mixed in with my basic infantry. That's just a waste. They also have less organization, which isn't great. So if I just switch over now, I'll get a bunch of equipment back. And there might be slightly less effective divisions, but they're going to be a lot more sensible in their design, I want to say. And I can slowly build up the size of these things to where I want them. And I do really mean slowly. I'm 8,000 equipment short, which is less than ideal. Speaking of, I also have a bunch of mechanized and tanks. So these are armor divisions. Yeah, no, not the best. And then the mechanized is also not the best. Yeah, it looks like the templates might not be perfect. But I don't need them to be perfect. I just need them to win me this battle. Okay, so we've got this pocket sorted out. That might just be enough to save the army of the gray. And just move these troops around, get them ready. A lot of work going into this. Jesus Christ. I need to destroy this pocket and then push through somewhere up there to destroy the southern and, you know, the things threatening Alexandria and Baton Rouge, basically. And I think we might have actually filled our equipment needs for the time being, meaning I might be able to scale these up, introduce engineers as well as maybe other stuff. I should be able to afford the cost. I appear to have inherited a bunch of templates, which I don't really want nor like. Like I said at the start, this mod is very early days. It is very, very early days. Don't hold it against them too much. It looks like we may have... Yes, we have achieved our goals. Southern pocket encircled and destroyed. This pocket encircled and destroyed. We are holding out, and the Canadians are providing an excellent distraction, allowing... Ooh, yeah, they're dead. They are drawing the enemy ever further into the Great White North, which is perfect. That means they're not coming down to kick my ass. We've cut them down to size significantly. I think we outnumber them. They destroy our economy, but their economy still kind of sucks. Yeah, they're still suffering from being Ingsoc. The North American resistant movement is starting to look pretty sweet. Now, if I could push up an armored thrust through here towards Bismarck and then Winnipeg, I could destroy that entire section and probably take their army out wholesale. It is Great Plains. I should be able to move armor and mechanize through there relatively quickly. I'll take the big risk. No risk, no reward. Let's make more trains. I'm gonna need them. I just need more factories overall. It's so slow to build up. I need to switch my economy to something more boosting. I need to switch my press into the freedom of speech. A censored press just doesn't have the same vibe to it, does it? We will be free or we will not be at all. If the armor would actually commit to this, we could probably pierce armor in first, mechanized follow behind, and then we'll try to push our way up through this. Yes, much better. Also, reinforcing it's going to be a bitch, so I think we'll be fine if we can just pull that off. So, we have two options here. All hands on deck, like I said, the military option. Giant Awakens, this is basically crush the enemy through sheer industry, and I think there is nothing more American than to destroy your enemies by burying them under equipment. The Giant Awakens. Though I am partial to Sic Semper Tyrannis. That is a great quote. Thus always the tyrants. All right, launch a bunch of pinning attacks on the flanks, and that should give our armor the free rein it needs to make a quick and decisive push up north. Yeah, we've blown a hole right through it. Haha! Sweet, we've caught them with their pants down. Let's keep ripping up north. Build railways there. That's great. That's just fantastic. Basically, what I want to do is take this tile. I'll use an armor to make sure that actually happens. And then from this railway, which will then be connected to our own network, we'll go north, connect it to the main stuff around there, and we can work. We can cook. This is what it's all about. Alright, the railway is coming online. It should be popping up soon enough. Down here, make sure we can hold that spread out, grab what we can. It's a mess, but it's our glorious mess, and as long as these gray guys and the Texans can hold the line down south, we can push up north, bring the enemy down. Yes, the 13 sectors are suffering now. 125,000 casualties. They are bleeding. How is England looking? Well, the Isles. They're losing to the IRA. All right, great. And Winston Smith, I think it's a character from 1984. He needs to be able to link up those little pockets, but I'm pretty sure this stuff in Yorkshire is probably lost, and the Scottish bits, the Highlands, might not be able to link up with the Welsh and Cornwall bits, so not sure if Britain's going to pull it off. India has lost, okay, and Africa has pretty much won. Really not all that much left. Okay then. And the Brazilian armed forces are holding out, but it's not a done deal yet. Patagonia's losing slowly. Brazil's losing slowly. Colombia's holding on. Guess who's in charge of Colombia? Did he just go around fishing for the wildest historical characters he could link to the date? I'm gonna need to plug the next bit of railway in, so I'll need to head to Minneapolis, because supply is going to kill us up here if we're not careful. Fortunately, the mechanized is fast enough to keep ahead of their infantry. It's not going to be possible to link the whole thing up, but I have made it to Minneapolis, and then we'll have the whole thing connected up, and we'll be able to do what we want up north. Holy shit, we've done it. We've split the front. We have achieved what we set out to do. We've cut them to bits. Okay, so just a big old attack towards the Great Canadian North. Not sure how well that's going to go, but those guys should all be starting to have some supply issues. They're going to be completely cut off, and hopefully it remains split, and they only have Vancouver to supply them. So onwards, upwards, to glory, to victory, to freedom. Oof, all right, the Giant awakens. Thank God for that. Civs or mills? I'll get mills. Reopen the arms factories, please. 12,000 guns short is not ideal. Also a bunch of tanks missing. Yeah, it's not great. Boy, we got a bunch of encirclements out of this. We just overran so many of the units that were unable to reposition because we just pushed ahead. Nice! There falls Oceania. The 13 sectors will be no more. Big Brother will be gone, and peace, freedom, and justice for all. Right, time to settle some affairs here. Freedom of speech. I am a firm believer. Let's get that sorted out. Also gives us more political power. Not a lot, though, but a little bit. Oh, wait, no, it costs us political power. No! But it does give us stability. Stability is pretty neat. Yeah, I'm looking at the UK. I don't think they're going to pull this off. We'll save America, definitely. At this point, it's a foregone conclusion, I think. But I don't think the Royal Resistance is going to pull it off. That's okay. When the arsenal of democracy opens up, we will sort this out. I promise you that. Ooh, we're taking a big hit here. So I think too many of our units are currently committed to the north, which is, you know, understandable considering the situation up there could give us a big win. But that does mean the south is somewhat vulnerable. Oh, sweet. I can take Kansas City, which chat has graciously explained to me is not actually in Kansas, and this is not a mistake. It's in Missouri. I promised to eat my hat if that was right, and apparently I must now go and find an edible hat. So great, stay tuned for streams. But yeah, America, why are you like this? Right, we have taken, or rather encircled the last bastion in the east. These disparate troops can be cleaned up by the Canadians and other minor players. It is now our duty to hold the main line where they're actually applying quite a bit of pressure. Yeah, we're gonna need to hold off. Should be fine. Let's work our way down there. We're probably going to be able to finish that war before the focus tree. We have cut their army to ribbons. 247,000 casualties. So this is almost a 10-to-1 ratio here. I love it. This is America at its best. I also like as cities are reclaimed, they are renamed. So no longer are they like Polis 1, 2, or 3, like the ones over here, still in 13 colonies control. We get them back. They are now Los Angeles. They are San Francisco, they are Portland, that sort of stuff. It's pretty nice, pretty nice. And Vancouver, obviously. I'll leave it to the Canadians to clean that mess up. I'm sure Michael the First, leader of the Canadian Royal Resistance, will sort that out. Last stronghold of the British Empire? Yes. And we'll retake the home isles. By jolly. Well, the front hit a bit of a stalemate. Mostly because I'm not willing to push too hard. Manpower is a little on the low side. I could go up a conscription law. Don't think I have to, but I could. Meanwhile, though, I'm trying to be clever about this. I'm trying another major encirclement, going to try and push up towards the Great Lakes and pretty much cut them off here. I think they'll have a connection up there through Canada, who are really holding their own as well as I'd like, but it's fine. But if I can get up to, what is this, Chicago? I should be able to do something up there. Also, I am out of resources and I can't trade with anyone because I technically don't have any nearby. I did go to free trade, which was probably a mistake. Yeah, I'm exporting way too much stuff. Let's actually ramp that down. Free trade later. Export focus. That'll do. Oh, we're actually making it to Chicago. Drive up there. How is the railway connection looking? Not good. I'm gonna need to take that railway. Good. Now this entire thing is cut off, and we'll make sure the infantry holds the line. The armor and mechanized can now push up there to deal with that menace. Logistics wizard, obviously. Let's drive them back from whence they came. Should have the railway connection online now. So Chicago is supplied, and from there we can push. Drive them back. We've also worked our way through the focus tree. We are here. Never again. We will never, ever give up our right to be free. Remember that. I think with that, we have another juicy chunk of Ingsoc trapped. This whole thing around Des Moines is, yeah, basically encircled. God, American borders, state borders look so weird. That bit of Michigan's not connected to the rest of Michigan. Why is it not part of Wisconsin? It makes more sense. Oh, looking over here, it does look like Winston here has clutched it. He's managed to link up the remains of several smaller pockets, and it does look like he is just about ready to take out Airstrip 1. We'll take care of America. That would leave Amazonia, which is honestly not doing all that hot, so it might look like Big Brother survives in Amazonia. They've definitely lost in South Africa, and they are getting their teeth kicked in by the Australian Reclamation Army. So it's just basically India that's managed to hold. That's pretty neat. I suppose later on with more content we also have to contend with Eurasia as well as East Asia, but for now victory is assured and it is glorious. The Irish Republican Army holds Ireland, all of Ireland. And the British Royal Resistance has taken the Isles. Brilliant! I do wonder if they'd be willing to sign this all over back to the king, you know, as his rightful territory to rule. But for the time being, I am happy to let this happen. On to Baltimore, Polis 3, and Big Brother. I guess this is just DC. No, it's Big Brother. They are crumbling. Yes! Well, we've made it the great state of Ohio. Don't know if I want to be here, but here we are, and we're pushing right on through. Full-on assault. This is it. The end game. Everything at the wall. See what sticks, but they are dying like the dogs they are. Their army's gone. 600,000 casualties, mostly inflicted by the Second Continental Army under Ferdinand J. Cheserek. No idea why he was chosen, but he has been chosen, and he's doing a really good job of things. Look at it. All right, Second Armored towards Big Brother, which again I assume is Washington D.C. On to Polis 3. Is this Philadelphia? Is this Detroit? I don't know, but there we go. The 13 sectors have collapsed. American victory. Government of the people, by the people, for the people. There we go. The Republic of Columbia, the Federation of New England, the Confederate States of Dixieland, the Great Lakes Commonwealth, the Second Republic of Texas, the California Republic, and the Free Republic of Cascadia. One step closer, we'll work our way through that, and we'll see what the rest of the game has to offer. I think we are, let's see, we're all in the same faction, so we can be friends for now, but I don't know how this plays out. America is still very much shattered. I had hoped to unite them all under a single leader, but we've defeated authoritarianism mostly. Yeah, we're gonna have to work our way through fixing all of this. First off, the Hour of Triumph. So, the military junta's nice and all, but if we're gonna bring democracy back, we're gonna need some sort of Congress, and disgusting as these old men are, bring them back. Oh, Continental Congress, oof, controversial, but it is better than a military junta, I suppose. This is gonna bite me in the ass, isn't it? I also got to reintegrate all of these territories that are currently not our cores, but are more or less occupied by the Continental Federal Republic, so just gotta get compliance up, resistance down. We will rebuild this nation, but do I want to maintain Washington's legacy? It is a government for the people. We fought so hard for this, why would we throw it away and rally to another tyrant? Well, time to bring the Supreme Court back. I'm sure they can do no wrong. Dear God, they better not fuck this up. Imagine that, a reformed Congress being a net positive to the nation, along with a reformed Supreme Court. Brilliant. Well, the administration's a bit overextended though, but we're sorting it out. You know, overall, country's shaping up to be better. There's a New York economic free zone here? Wow. Okay, so this nation's really cooked. Well, at least everyone else is beating their respective enemies except for India and somewhat Amazonia. Oh, the Mexicans also not looking too hot. Although they did squeeze out the Sierrans from the south. I'm surprised they've lasted this long. I really thought these guys were dead pretty much in the first couple of weeks, so they've lasted very long. Gotta respect the grind set. Time to reinstate the Constitution. Yep. It's coming back, baby. I wonder if they'll bring back the original one or like a revised version. Something a little more robust for the current times. Also almost reintegrated all former states, at least the ones that I control. Just need to get the PP to get Iowa on side. Time to appoint an interim president. America needs a president. Someone to be its face and voice. Well, see how we can do this. And this is basically where it ends. They're appointing Dan Quayle. I've no idea who that is, but he is going to be brought in as the interim president. Sweet. Thank you for playing 1984 The Revolution. We are basically done. And then these are ways to retake our promised land. We will reinstate America, and then we can declare our victory. In Operation Grizzly, we will take back that new California Republic. Now, I do outnumber these guys heavily. Damn, they have more units than I thought. It's not going to save them, though, but yeah, there's more people here than I had assumed. No way! The UK's been restored! They've signed everything back over to the king! Nice! Britannia reborn. They did it. The restoration of the United Kingdom. So there is a United Kingdom of Great Britain under Michael I, and he's also king of the Kingdom of Canada. I'll let him have this one. Ooh, Brazil lost. Badly. Okay. I am sorry, my fellow republics, but there can only be one in the end. I wish there was a diplomatic way of sorting this out. Unfortunately, the guns will speak today. And so falls mighty Texas. Continental Federal Republic's looking a lot more spicy. Bit of a shame, though. These people fought hard for what they believed in. I just wish we could resolve this through diplomacy rather than brutal subjugation. I suppose you can't win them all. Alright, Operation Sherman, the invasion of the Confederate States of Dixieland. Well named, so there will be no South Rising today. No. You're all being brought back into the fold. Just get in there. A lot of troops, though. They are quite large. And so ends the second rise of the South. Time to deal with Columbia. Operation House Call. Ah, because the White House is over there. I love these names. Finally, Operation Revere. And then we'll demand Canada. And we have everything back in our hands. Dear God, we have a lot of integrating to do. There will be no New England here. Only a new America. Alright, that is everything reintegrated. I can declare reunification. Unfortunately, I don't think they're cored, so technically I still have to reintegrate each and every one of them individually. Let's ask for Alaska, see what they say. I genuinely hope they'll be sensible here. And Canada has signed over Alaska. The United States of America are here, ready to step up to whatever the world requires of us next. I will come back to this in a new update. I have to say, I am in love with this mod. I love the setting. 1989, 5 years after the game starts, we have righted a horrible wrong in this world, and we have defeated the greatest evil of our time. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I recommend people check out the mod. It's pretty fun. It is early days, but it's pretty fun. I hope to see you guys in the next video as well. Goodbye.